it going, everybody? How are we doing today? Guys, we have a very awesome guest on today, and I'm really genuinely stoked to have her on here. Ashnichrist, and so I know we've had a lot of questions already so far. Jody with a host, thank you. I know we've already had a ton of questions. I'll do my best to answer any of them, and to ask any of them to her through chat. So yeah, and also she's on a pretty tight time schedule, so we're gonna try to make the most of this interview. Thank you again for getting on here, and let's introduce Ashnichrist. Ashley, how you doing?
Hi, John. Thanks for having me.
Yes.
I'm so excited to be here.
Right? Thank you so much. You've been doing so many talks recently, and I'm very glad that you were able to get on, squeeze us in for just a little while. But yeah,
of course.
Right.
Yeah, like I said, I'm happy to be here and hang out with you and your friends, some of my friends, just everybody's friends.
Heck
Friend
yes.
circle.
Right? That's one thing I will say about the streaming community. I've been in a lot of musicians and been in a ton of different, I guess, communities like that, but streaming in the gaming industry, I know it's got its dark side, but for the most part, there's just a lot of awesome people here.
So. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of there's a lot of love, and there's some beefs, as there is in any community, but it's overall a really great place.
Yes, I totally agree. Well, why don't you talk to us really quick? I've had this question for a little while, and I went through your YouTube trying to find out some of your first videos and stuff, and even some of the first videos that you've got on there are how-tos and how to do things, kind of the pre-days of Stream Coach, maybe even. But
Ooh.
Yeah, what did you do actually before you started streaming and started Stream Coach?
That's a really good question.
Dun, dun, dun.
Those were the dark days, weren't they?
Oh God.
It was pretty bad. Yeah, I tried basically everything for my content for a long time. I tried I've done cosplay streams. I tried to be a creative streamer back when creative first came out. I did, what else did I do? I've done a bunch of just chatting stuff. I was involved in esports, then I was doing community games, then I thought I was going to be a horror streamer, and then of course I did all the theme days too, exercise streams, workout streams, and some really weird event-based streams. So I used to do I used to have goals where if my viewers hit a certain tip goal, I would do something weird. One of those things one time was I would make a smoothie out of whatever ingredient the giveaway winner wanted to add to the smoothie, and it was horrible. It was so bad. It was the worst decision I ever made on Twitch. I actually had to end the stream because there was so much alcohol in the smoothie that I got very drunk very fast. Basically drinking alcoholic vomit.
Oh my God.
And I had to immediately leave. At the end of that marathon, I was no, sorry, guys,
too much.
So yeah, I did a lot of that, and then YouTube wise, I have some random videos on there, like a bullet journal video, time management video. I was trying to go for this really aesthetic kind of, I don't know, cute type of vibe, but it just wasn't, none of the videos really hit until I discovered just sharing things that I had learned with streamers.
Yeah. And honestly, I mean, do you feel was there an influx in viewership and engagement after you did start posting these how-tos, how to grow your stream?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, because the thing is, I think when people see stream advice content now, it's such a huge staple of the community, right? It's all over the place. We've got hundreds of thousands of people who are contributing to this kind of content, but before it did not exist.
Yeah.
And previously it was literally every single Twitch partner, which I wasn't one at the time, but every single Twitch partner had their own Twitch tip video of how to grow your stream, and they were all super basic advice from people that had not gone through a bunch of training about marketing and branding and business development and things like that. But they all had that one YouTube video, and anytime they would get that question, how'd you grow your stream, they'd always say, just go watch my YouTube video about it. And so they always did pretty well because they had that like consistent viewership that was being funneled over to them. But there were
Hmm.
no channels at that time that were dedicated to stream advice
Yeah.
videos. And so around that same time, like I launched my channel, Harris launched his, Gail launched his, Gaming Careers launched theirs, and
Hmm.
we all kind of started right around that same time of like 20. Man, I don't know. I started doing it in 2015, but I didn't
Yeah.
really like launch a YouTube channel until I think like 2017 or
Hmm.
so. I believe that's around the time that we all got involved with it. And then since then, the space has just exploded because before everybody was kind of was not really sharing their information. They
Hmm.
didn't really feel the need to, or didn't really know that like that could be a brand, right? Because everyone
Yeah.
said like, oh, you have to be an entertainer.
Hmm.
Nobody ever talked about being an educator. And so the evolution, I think, of this like niche is so interesting to
Yeah.
go from nothing to not only having hundreds or thousands of streamers creating content over this, but also to have like businesses that are popping up,
Hmm.
and it's really, yeah, it's dope to see.
I think one thing that I really like about, like, for instance, your career, and I was saying this before we went live, but I really think that, like, it's cool to also not only see like your work ethic is getting you to where you are, and but not just that, like, it's a genuine growth. There are some streamers, like you were saying, like before, whenever they would like a really popular streamer might give out like top 5 tips on how to grow your stream, but they really just give you kind of almost like a generic answer,
Yeah.
more so than like a genuine like response, and here's literally the steps that I've taken and you can see my growth. I think that makes it a lot more like relatable.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah, totally. It definitely, I mean, I love that people who are smaller creators too are
Hmm.
getting involved in this because the relatability side of it is so important. Like
Yeah.
it's hard to take information from people who have been streaming for so long,
Hmm.
or like have, a viewership or a follower count that is so much bigger than ours,
Yeah.
because they just, it feels like they did things differently, they did
Hmm.
things to a different level, maybe they had different strategies that worked for them, which is great,
Hmm.
but not all the same strategies work for the same people, and not everybody is going to grow the same way. So it's really important to like find, that person that you vibe with, which is why
Yeah.
having lots of people in the space is so important.
Yeah, and like Bayou Bengal said, I owe a lot to Ashnichrist. She has no idea. She brought me to Gigi's, and from her YouTube videos, helped me a lot to grow on Twitch. And honestly, I'm seeing the growth. Like, he's in our community, and he has been blowing up a lot. So
That's
tip of the
awesome.
hat to you, my
Gigi's is
friend.
so cool. That team is so cool. I
Hey,
love them.
heck yeah! Thank you for saying so. We like
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's another question that's on here. So there is, do you have, this is actually a fan question. What do you think the new wave of social media will be? Like, do you think that we'll end up seeing something like a new version of Twitter? Like, or what are your thoughts on
That's great. So like oh man. Okay. So this is basically a question of like how does Web 2.0 turn into Web 3.0?
that? Yeah.
Um yeah, it's this is like the space that I'm really excited about right now, and I'm trying to learn a lot about right now
Hmm.
because I love like streaming and content creation, and helping streamers and creators is such a huge part of like what I do.
Hmm.
And I feel like if you want to be really effective in that you need to learn more about the direction that all of this stuff is growing, and where and how it's changing,
Hmm.
right? And so the way that I see all of this currently changing, and I could be wrong because there are lots of people who are like, oh yeah, stuff is going to go this way, and then it goes like totally the other direction. So I don't think this is by any means an absolute guarantee,
Hmm.
but I really do think that blockchain technology, as of right now, is currently in the position to be the most likely case of where the entire online experience is heading, including content creation.
Hmm.
So for blockchain, a lot of this is like social media platforms where imagine like imagine a situation where watching YouTube videos
Hmm.
actually pays you, or playing games makes you money, or
Yeah.
collecting things online gets you paid. Like, that's insane.
Hmm.
And I think there's a little bit of, ethical or moral conversation we could have around this idea that what happens when we monetize pure pleasure and creativity.
Hmm.
And I'm curious how that conversation unfolds, but I do think that in its current state, and it's not perfect by any means, there's lots of things to figure out about how blockchain tech can be more energy efficient,
Hmm.
and how it can, um, uh, man, there's just, I
There
think about it
is,
and I'm like,
yeah.
there's so many problems
Yeah.
it solves, and there's like so much opportunity, but like,
Hmm.
there's definitely any new tech, any new evolution of whether it's social or whatever,
Hmm.
is not going to be perfect, right? And so
Yeah.
we kind of have to solve the problems as the thing is developing, and like build the plane as we're flying it.
Hmm.
And so in order to, I think I think the best way that I can answer this question is just by saying that I'm learning a lot about blockchain. And I think that it has the best shot as of right
Hmm.
now compared to anything else, because it interfaces so effectively with like AR, VR, AI,
Hmm.
quantum computing, blockchain technology. All of those things are
Like,
so beautiful together.
yeah.
Uh,
And it's
yeah.
weird because, like, so up until maybe a few weeks ago, I really didn't know very much about blockchain. And, like, I mean, I knew a little bit about it, like, in the sense of, like, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, but I'd only heard it loosely as a term. So whenever we confirmed that you were going to be getting on the podcast, I had a couple of people and I was like, hey, do you guys have any questions for her? And one question came up, and I'm trying to think of exactly who it was that said the question. It might have been, I don't know, it might have been Vood. I'm not sure exactly who put this question down, but they pretty much said, like, for NFTs, they were like, I really don't understand it. So from their outside perspective, they're like, it looks like you could pretty much just like screenshot this picture or whatever, and then now it's mine, right? Like, how can you protect me from that? And so do you have like, I answered it to the best of my ability, but how would you answer that question? Like a new person trying to get into NFTs and they're seeing it everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
how would you answer what makes NFTs like kind of the new thing?
Yeah, this is a great question. Because you're right. Like from the outside, it's kind of, there are a lot of holes that can be poked into it,
Mm-hmm.
whenever you aren't like inside of the community yet. And I think in order for people to get to explore what that internal community looks like and how exciting and innovative it is, and to see like the depth of how insane the blockchain and NFT space is, and why
Yeah.
people are talking about it so much, like you have to kind of resolve a lot of these understandable and very credible objections
Mm-hmm.
that people bring to you. And so, one of the things that I usually say when people are like, "What the heck is up with this NFT stuff?" I can just screenshot it, which
Yeah.
is, it's funny that you bring this up, because this is like totally a meme inside of the
Yeah.
NFT community. Is
Yeah.
the like right click savers is
Yes.
what they call
Yeah. I
them.
think somebody even posted that in that group. I was like, well,
Yeah.
it's a little bit more advanced than that, but
It definitely is more advanced than that. So imagine an internet, in our current internet, this like right click save feature
mm-hmm.
is almost predatory,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because you can save any artist's art, you can save, like you can throw anything up on Redbubble. You can
Mm-hmm.
steal music, you can steal video games, you can steal everything that
Yeah.
you want. But there is a technological
I like it.
there's a very technology heavy way
Mm-hmm.
that we can prevent people from being able to do that in the future, which gives more power back to artists, more power back to creators,
Mm-hmm.
and resolves a lot of the online art theft that
Mm-hmm.
is happening. The reason that a lot of this right click save stuff can exist is because it's happening on Web 2.0, not on Web 3.0 and blockchain.
Yeah.
Uh, there's a lot of there's other pieces of this argument as well, like what about my IP, what about my copyright of like an art that I created,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody just steals it. Well, the truth is, if you created the art, you retain your intellectual property. And if somebody steals it and starts monetizing off of it, in that situation, usually what happens in the Web 2.0 environment is that it's the responsibility of the artist to find who is stealing their work, to send a cease and desist, to send all of the like legal communication, work with a lawyer, etc. But what happens on Web 3.0 is the removal of any infringing material can be done automatically.
That makes sense.
To the point where it can even not be posted at all,
Yeah.
because all of this stuff is stored on blockchain. So there's a bunch of different like security benefits, and ultimately the idea of NFTs and blockchain overall, because blockchain isn't just NFTs, it's like blockchain is the technology at the very top that allows different things to work. One of those things are NFTs. One of those things are cryptocurrency. Another one of those things is something called a DAO, which is a decentralized autonomous organization. Usually that first thing, the NFTs, are like your ticket into a DAO, which is like a community of people who basically all own a percentage of the community. And they all, essentially, when they buy into it, they become like a partial CEO, right? Or a partial owner of any output from that community. So this is actually a very, for people who like socialism, this is actually a really great way to return the means of labor back to the workers.
Yeah.
Because what happens is you have complete control of your output, of your the work that you do inside of blockchain. You are in 100% ownership of that. And this is actually why we have a lot of negative messaging coming from like government and from corporate CEOs and people in really, really high positions of power, because they currently hold a lot of that power. And they don't want to get rid of it, so that the power flips and is concentrated more at the bottom now instead of on them.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different reasons for it. It's like a whole, oh my God, it's a huge conversation, but it is super valuable technology that I'm hoping we stop, I'm hoping that we educate more and we help people get away from this like anti-NFT or anti-blockchain messaging that exists, and especially the traditional gaming and streaming space, because this tech could actually and absolutely revolutionize what it means to be a content creator. It gives power back to creators and doesn't take anything away.
I feel like a lot of the hostility just comes from like the unknown of it. And a lot of the times, like whenever I find something new that a lot of people are talking about, my first thought is not necessarily, well, this is stupid or anything like that. My first thought is, what do they know that I don't know? Like, what are they seeing that I'm not seeing? And and so I dive into it. And I've got a friend that's really in the NFT scene, and F Huge is his name. And he just pretty much sent me like a crap load of links, and he does tons of the chats on Twitch or on Twitter. So like I just go in there and listen to what these guys say, and then I'll send him a message, and then so I learned a lot that way. But I know that there's a lot of people that are not kind of the same, like-minded like that. And I'd imagine it's kind of causing a lot of backlash. But once you said that about the government given a lot of backlash towards that actually is the thing that I feel like should get a lot more people into it. Like if the government's like, hey, wait, we can't regulate this yet. What? Like, dude, get into it now. For real.
Exactly. Like lots of concentration of power at the top, and this like fear from them about people owning the people owning the like means of production, right? And people having control and like getting a percentage of everything that they're involved in. That's possible. That's like revolutionizing. Right? Imagine if like everybody who worked for one of these major corporations like Walmart or Coke or whatever owned a percentage of Walmart or Coke, and also were able to like vote and decide how things worked and how it ran without that like and the people at the top, their only job was enacting the things that the mass voted for.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
We need to set up like are there communities right now that you're a part of, or do you actually have your own community like this that people should know about, like if anybody's trying to get into something like that?
Yeah, that's a good question. So a couple of there's a couple of projects I would
Hmm.
recommend people keep an eye out for.
Hmm.
Um, I can't say too much about this one, but I have a pinned tweet right now where I'm talking a little bit about the fact that there's um, a group of people that are
Hmm.
creating an NFT project to help onboard like gamers and streamers and help
Yeah.
them get a little bit more experienced with it.
Hmm.
So I'll be announcing that once the project is fleshed out a
Hmm.
little bit more. And once I know I'm like allowed to talk about it and
Yeah,
announce it. So that is coming. That's probably where I'm going to do most of my support in education. Um, and it's really good because like the idea is to make NFTs accessible so that
hmm,
people can learn about them, but
yeah,
also to take a portion of the money that is made from that project and just give it back to creators and create
that's
this
awesome.
almost like content creator fund
Yeah.
so that people who, need a new setup or need a new microphone or whatever, or, want to, I don't know, pay for something
Yeah, yeah.
can do so.
Hmm.
So I think that that adds a little bit of bonus to the idea of like participating, because it's going back to people who really need it.
Yeah.
Um, there's another project that, man, I haven't been able to execute on quite yet
Hmm.
because I just accepted a new like super big position in this space,
Well,
and
that's
I'm like
cool.
taking weeks of calls essentially where I'm doing calls like 8 hours a day right now to be
Yeah.
trained up on this. Um, but there's another uh, experiment, or not so much experiment, but there's another like community
Hmm.
that I would like to start that helps people learn about community management and how to be a CM professionally, because a
Hmm.
huge part of the blockchain and NFT space is community.
Yeah.
Like, imagine things aren't run by corporations anymore, or they're not run by the people at the top. It's
Hmm.
all run by communities, which, like, side note, streamers already are experienced
Yeah.
with. So,
Yeah.
streamers are the best community managers for the Web 3.0 space. And by the way, these CM positions are not just intro positions, these are director level, six-figure
Jeez.
positions
Yeah.
in huge companies that have multi millions of dollars of funding. And streamers are perfectly set up because y'all have been building community, working on engagement, building Discord servers.
For
You
real
love
though.
content creation. That's all the work that a CM
Yeah.
does.
I
So that one is, oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, I actually, so I'd read that tweet that you posted, pretty much saying exactly
Mm,
that. Like they're looking for CMs, and
yeah.
like the funny thing is, so like my Discord server, I like it now, and but whenever we first got it set up, I had no clue what I was doing really. So I kind of like learned a
Yeah.
lot. But the person that helped me set it all up, his name is Neptune on Discord, and I found out he's like a 14-year-old kid, but this kid like completely, I mean, like it's botted out, like you, like everything's automated levels, and like there's so much stuff that he did on there. And recently I've been telling him, I'm like, dude, there's money in what you're doing, like you should just
Oh,
really keep
yeah.
on this. But he doesn't charge anybody, and he's just setting up like these ridiculously well thought out, botted, just beautiful communities on Discord. It's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah, so like
Aw, that's
I
so
know.
cool. Good
He's
for him.
14 too. I'm like, dude, that kid, hopefully I'm talking to the next like freaking Elon or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's how like imperative Discord and community management and setup is in
Yeah.
the Web3 space. It's so huge.
Yeah.
Uh
Oh god.
yeah.
Oh my
Man,
gosh.
there's so many I because I feel like I didn't really answer how do people get involved in this very well. The other answer I have is just do it. Like, Twitter Spaces is a really good place to like get on every morning. Like every
Yeah.
morning I'm in a Twitter space and I'm listening to NFT people talk about NFTs.
Mhm.
So if y'all are following me on Twitter, you'll see the space at the very top of your app.
Mhm.
every morning whenever I'm in there. And you can just jump into those conversations, those calls that I'm hanging out into, and just learn
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
And then once you feel like you have a bit of an understanding,
Mhm.
that's whenever you can start, if you want, you can start investing. Now, that being said, you don't have to spend money to be involved in this space at all.
Yeah.
This is not a, like, there's a lot of money in this space, but you don't absolutely have to have cash to be involved.
Mhm.
That's another thing that's going around where people are like, oh, it's just a rich man's Ponzi scheme. It's just lots of rich crypto bros hanging out. No,
Yeah.
no, I promise you, there's so many like broke ass, like
Yeah.
people that, oh,
Oh,
there's my camera.
bon don
People
don.
that just don't, yeah, people that don't have any cash, that maybe they throw like 50 bucks into a project, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden that project like moons, which is like
Yeah.
it,
Mhm.
goes to the moon, it like skyrockets, and they get their cash, and they sell out of that project and like invest in a couple of,
Yeah.
there's some examples of that happening, but to be honest, you don't have to spend money. There's
Yeah.
lots of free projects that you can get involved into.
I've seen a ton where like they'll give you an NFT for free for like joining in their communities and yeah, so
Yeah.
there definitely is a lot of good ways to do that. Do you think so? Like, I know we talked about and somebody actually posted about like they got their music stolen from SoundCloud. Do you feel like eventually NFTs and like blockchain technology can work into uh like music and that as well too? Do you
Oh,
think that's going to be something that will happen?
yes. Yes. I think if Harris is not looking at music NFTs right now,
Mm-hmm.
that he absolutely needs to, because holy freaking moly,
Yeah.
that space is going to blow up, because NFTs can protect
Mm-hmm.
against all of this DMCA garbage.
Yeah.
So, there was a funding round announced today from A16Z, which
Mm-hmm.
is a really popular firm. And it had musicians like, hang on, actually,
Oh, that's
let me look it up real fast. So it had the Chainsmokers.
oh nice.
Um, it had, that was the first one. Okay, the Chainsmokers, Kygo, Nas,
Damn.
Logic, Steph London, Disclosure, Joyner Lucas, Coinbase, and a bunch of other artists
Mm-hmm.
invested in this 55 million Series A, which was led by A16Z,
Mm-hmm.
and they invested in this platform called Royal. And what Royal does, and this is gonna like blow some people's minds, it allows you to buy ownership in songs
Ah,
directly from the artists.
that
And
is
so you get to earn royalties with those musicians as they're owning royalties.
that is such a freaking cool idea. Like what? See, I don't
It
know.
basically totally gets rid of record labels.
Yeah.
Like, people don't have to work for a label anymore, which, like, labels, by the way, and the way that they
Mm-hmm.
work is kind of weird and annoying. So, like, a record label will give you, what is it, like $5 million or
Mm-hmm.
something. But they expect that $5 million to be paid back from you, like touring, releasing
Mm-hmm.
music, blah, blah. So it's basically a loan that you have to pay back based on your performance, and that you have to hit certain like metrics, and there's
Mm-hmm.
certain tasks that you have to do for them. And they control a lot of your like artistic expression.
Yeah.
For some people, that's great. Like, they just want to make it big, and they want to attract mass market attention, and they're willing to like sell out to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's great for them. But then there are other people who are like, they want to retain their artistic creativity, and they want to be able to create music the way that they want it, and they want to be able to like have the work life balance that they want, and only travel when they want to. And so this is what it allows artists to do, which I feel like is so mind blowing. The idea that
Yeah.
like I can buy a portion of a song, and I can earn royalties
I think
every time that that song is played,
yeah.
in addition to the artist earning royalties. It's like, if I were an artist, why the hell wouldn't I give away a
Yeah.
percentage of my royalties, so that I got to so that I allowed my fans to be the people who are giving me money,
Yes.
not a record label.
Mm-hmm. There's
I would much rather crowdsource that.
yeah, yeah, 100%. There's a band. Well, there's a lot of bands that are doing this right now, but one in particular that I follow is called While She Sleeps, and they completely crowdsourced their entire new album. And this seems like kind of like the next step, like kind of like Kickstarter allowed people to get like their albums funded or their new albums instead of necessarily having to rely on a record label. You can get your fans behind you, and this seems like kind of another way to get like the artist and their fans connected into one project. I think that's pretty awesome. It's
Yes.
gonna be pretty big.
That's what I love is like Web3 is basically like connecting people in ways that they've never been before because
Yeah.
they've been in traditional in the traditional system there's so many middlemen. Like there's so many people who
Yeah.
are profiting off of artists and profiting off of content creators and profiting off of the
Mm-hmm.
people who are actually doing the work that like now we get to remove a lot of those unnecessary businesses
Yeah.
and instead creators and people who are actually like producing something worthy
Mm-hmm.
get all of the or not all of the gains but like most of the
Yeah.
gains of their work and then they get to decide how they want to monetize. Do they want to monetize with the traditional system? That's
Mm-hmm.
fine. Do they want to monetize by like crowdfunding from their fans? That's fine too.
Yeah. Man, well, I think that's awesome that that's coming through, and I honestly hadn't even heard about that yet. So, like, legitimately, I'm very excited about that. That's very
Oh, it's
cool.
so
I'm a
cool.
huge music fan. If you couldn't tell by all the guitars and stuff, I'm like obsessed. So that would be very cool
Oh
to be
yeah,
able to like, I don't know.
you should definitely look into that project.
Oh,
It's
heck yes.
freaking dope. I just learned about it.
Nice. Well, so okay, I know that we've only got a couple more minutes left on your schedule here, and I have a couple of fan questions for you.
Sure.
Alrighty. So, if you could tell your starting out streaming self a few things to help you succeed, what would they be? Like,
Ooh, great question. The first one would be take the blinders off, sis. Stop making Twitch the end all be all of what is going to make you successful in your life because let me tell you, there are so many things you're going to learn from streaming and by helping other people learn how to stream and by building a team that's going to make you way more valuable of a person and a leader and a businesswoman than just Twitch alone could ever do for you. And there's so much more like accolades and success and relationships and friendships and support and ability to support your family available in spaces other than Twitch. Twitch itself is pizza changed.
yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, like honestly, I've heard like a lot of. I mean, there's been a good bit of videos that people are like, quit streaming on Twitch, and like you're not gonna make it on Twitch. But do you have like certain areas, like if somebody is just specifically trying to on Twitch, or they're trying to make creating like their platform? Do you have a an avenue that you would suggest for them to go towards?
Ooh, I think the thing that's the thing that's interesting here is that even though I say Twitch is pizza change,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that that means that we shouldn't stream.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that our viewpoints on streaming need to be much more realistic
Mm-hmm.
and that most people have very unrealistic expectations of their stream. They think, I'm
Yeah.
going to sit here, play some video games, or do whatever I want. I'm going to attract people, and then hopefully someday I'll become a millionaire like Tim the Tatman and Pokimane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and for those people, right, like they're already sitting at the top, it makes sense for them to just
Mm-hmm.
continue playing video games, prioritizing Twitch, streaming 60 hours a week, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
because they're already there.
Yeah.
But if you're not at the very, very top of the directories, if you're not one of the 0.0001% of creators, I think that it's okay to understand that Twitch is a tool. It is a tool for you to get closer to an audience who already knows you because of your work.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the best tool for people to find you for the first time, and we should stop trying to put it within that box.
Yeah.
And it's also not the only tool that you should use
Mm-hmm.
in your content ecosystem. And I think it's also it's okay for us to do a thing that is our main income earner
Mm-hmm.
and to still dedicate time to going live and creating content like
Yeah.
the way and this kind of goes back to the question of like how do you view content creation changing? A
Hmm.
big part of it is I view every single human being that exists as a content creator or a future content creator.
Yeah.
And I think as Web3 is being built out, and as more of these crazy innovative tech projects are being built out and we transition, even the people who aren't hyper online now, more people will be transitioning into a hyper online lifestyle. And so
Yeah.
what that means is that we all have to show up socially, and that could be through YouTube or Twitch or Twitter or Instagram or TikTok, whatever that means.
Hmm.
And so I think we all have to create some level of content somewhere in order to have a social presence in this new paradigm shift of
Yeah.
internet access and evolution.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, it should be just a part of who you are, a part of what you do. It should be the thing that you always go back to, no
Hmm.
matter what new job you're working on, what new project you're working on. I think it's something that should always be there, but it's not the
Yeah.
thing that is your main thing. It should
Hmm.
never be your main thing unless you got in during the gold rush 10 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. I completely agree. I mean, there's so many people that I know that get discouraged whenever they hit like a plateau of viewership or something like that, and they're like, "What do I do now?" And they put all their eggs in the
Totally.
Twitch basket. So I could imagine that you probably hear that a ton.
Oh yeah, it's horrible, horrible, horrible. You don't want to
Yeah.
do that at all.
Yes. Here we go. This one is a pretty good question that I'm actually excited for the answer about as well too. And we've had a couple of people in chat ask this, but favorite hairstyle and what's next? We're asking the
That's a
hard
good
questions here.
question.
Look, I'm
Okay.
just saying we don't hold punches
No.
here.
Man, dang, put me on the
Yeah.
spot
I
like this.
know,
I
I
don't even
know.
know. I don't know. I'm loving this like peach thing that I'm doing right
E-
now, or at least going for right now.
I mean,
Feeling
everybody
pretty
in
good.
chat's like, I love the hair. It's so good. So there you go.
Thanks. Yeah, I love like it's kind of beautiful how I went from purple to this peach because in
Hmm.
a way it's also representative of my like break from this idea that Twitch is it
Yeah.
has to be that thing, right? And now
Yeah.
I'm preaching like, oh no, you don't need Twitch. You don't need any platform. Like you own the rights to your production, baby. You do
Yeah.
your own thing, and that's like kind of present in the
Heck
earphones as
yes.
well.
I like it. I like it a lot. And honestly, I mean, like you're just saying with like you don't need Twitch and Twitch doesn't own your content and stuff. A lot of people are really afraid to stream on other platforms because like, oh, I'm affiliated on Twitch. Do you like what would you say to those people that are I guess afraid to jump on and stream on YouTube now or stream on like
Yeah,
Instagram Live?
totally. So, unfortunately, if you're partnered, you can't experiment with other platforms.
Mhm.
But if you are an affiliate, you can, which is really cool. So, 100%, please, dear God, explore other spaces. You
Yeah.
have no idea how awesome it is to go
Mhm.
to other platforms and meet people that you've never met before and
Yeah.
to have a totally different experience than you've had before. I very much believe that the future of streaming is not only decentralized,
Yeah.
but that it is going to happen across multiple platforms. And so I'm like bullish on multi-streaming for the future. If
Yes.
I could invest in multi-streaming, I
Mhm.
right now I would. Because almost every social platform now has its own live streaming capabilities. Because of that, because of that, in addition to this idea that content creators and streamers need to be diversifying across multiple platforms, we're building segmented audiences. And
Mhm.
so we're building groups of people who will only consume us on TikTok, only consume us on YouTube, or only consume us on Twitch,
Yeah.
which is fine. We want to do that. But Twitch shouldn't be the only place that we use this live streaming tool.
Mhm.
And this live streaming tool is the best tool for trust development. That's what it's for.
Yeah.
It's not growth, it's not marketing, it's not bringing more awareness to you and your content. It's
Mhm.
learning and or not learning, but it's it's growing relationships with the people who already know about you. That
Yeah.
is what this tool is for. And so, if you are growing an audience across multiple platforms, how the heck are you supposed to connect with them? How are you
Mm-hmm.
supposed to grow trust with them? How are you supposed to bring them down your content funnel
Mm-hmm.
into being someone who is like your ride or die community members, right?
Yeah.
You need to always have a next step for people.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really think that like using Restream or some other multi-stream tool and going live to lots of platforms at
Mm-hmm.
the same time allows us to have an experience of building trust with audiences regardless of where they want to consume us, because at
Yeah.
this point the power is with them.
Mm-hmm.
They should be allowed to consume on whichever platform they're on, however they want to do it. We shouldn't force someone to watch or participate in a
Yeah.
platform that they don't like just to
Mm-hmm.
hang out with us. I think that's really entitled from the creator perspective.
I
And
completely agree.
so, yeah, it's crazy. But so I think that um we need to stop romanticizing Twitch and thinking
Yeah.
that Twitch is finally going to change or that they're finally going to do what's best for us. The truth is they have lots of different content creators and investors and shareholders and directors and Amazon and
Amazon.
advertisers,
Yeah.
and like they have all of these people that they have to create an experience for.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes the features that they develop will be conflicting, and sometimes the features that they develop will actually do harm to your business. So if your expectation is that everything Twitch does is going to be to your benefit, that's just straight up wrong.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to do
100%.
what is to your own benefit.
Mm-hmm. Man, God, thank you for saying that, because I know there's a lot of people in chat that are like, we recently started multi-streaming on like YouTube and Twitch, our podcast, and just like, so I had so
Awesome.
many people that were like, be careful, man, because Twitch will like demonetize you and ban you really quick. And I'm like, dude, at this point, I don't know. I mean, there's been some times that I think I've maybe made more on Twitch than I made in my real life job for a week or something like that. But for the most
Yeah.
part, like, I don't know. Bring it, Twitch. I guess that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. To be honest, like
Yeah.
they got on to me for streaming over on YouTube, so
Mm-hmm.
I streamed over there for a couple months and had to stop.
Oh.
But I'm genuinely considering, and I've been considering this for a while, so I really need to sit down and think about it and like
Mm-hmm.
make a move on it. But I'm genuinely considering leaving the partner program and leaving affiliate on Twitch
Yeah.
so that I can multi-stream across like, because Facebook is
Mm-hmm.
rad, YouTube is rad, Twitch is good, but
Yeah.
like I don't need all of the features that affiliate and partner
Mm-hmm.
bring me on Twitch in order to make money online.
Yeah.
I can do that myself. I can make products and services and I can make my own like cryptocurrency. I can make an NFT or something and people can just buy that if they want
Yeah.
to support. But I don't need all these features in
Mm-hmm.
exchange for my exclusive
Mm-hmm.
presence on a single platform.
I
No way in
completely agree.
hell.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. And honestly, I know people that have gone the reverse route. So like they got really popular and they partnered with YouTube and then they started multi-streaming and YouTube's not batting an eyelash at them. They're like, all right, cool, do whatever you want to. So
Yeah.
like it's
Nobody cares except
yeah,
Twitch.
it's so weird that they've got this death grip on their partners. Like what? I don't know. I guess they know how valuable their partners are, but jeez, man, like
Yeah.
it's pretty messed up.
Yeah,
Seems a little insecure.
and it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It seems kind of like that, like abusive boyfriend that you
Yeah.
keep going back to.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Just leave him.
Just leave. So, but I mean, like, is there an option for you like that where like you could necessarily be like, hey guys, I'm leaving your partnership program, but you can still have your content on Twitch? Like you can still do that? I guess that's a misconception I think a lot of people have. Like they think you'll just
Yeah,
get pulled.
absolutely you can. Yeah, no, you don't have to be partnered or affiliate on the platform in order to stream on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
No.
you absolutely like whoever wants to, if they as long as they aren't contracted
Mm-hmm.
by Twitch, yeah, they absolutely can hang out and stream.
Okay.
There are lots of people who have chosen to like forego partnership or remove partnership and still been streaming to Twitch and other platforms. So
Yeah. So that's kind of, I guess, what
I
I
mean,
was
I shouldn't
wondering.
say
Like,
lots, but like there are examples.
there's some out there. Nice, nice. Well, there you go. Well, so where all can we find you? I know it's probably, is it Ashnichrist everywhere? Any of your social
Yep.
medias? Nice.
Yep. All my social media except TikTok is Ashnichrist_ because somebody took my name.
Oh, sick people. I wonder, have you been able to
Yeah.
contact them or no? Oh,
No.
that's the worst. And
I
then,
know.
it's like pulling teeth. I know I just talked to McDojo Life, and they were like, only on one platform are we not McDojo Life. We're like McDojo Life _ I was like, it's cold.
The
People got to stop.
actual worst.
Right? Yeah, I think a lot of people just like, what is it? They're just parking that username for whatever reason, but you know, things happen.
Yeah.
So everybody can find you there, and I'll post links to all of your social medias. And then, is there anything you'd like to leave our viewers with?
Um, I guess just y'all be awesome to each other, be
Heck
kind
yes.
to each other, but also like start to walk in your power, okay? Because
Yeah.
these platforms out here want to take advantage of you, these governments out here want to take advantage of you, all these people trying to control you, all these people trying to tell you what to do. No, 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 my friend, not in this dojo.
Yes. Yes.
No, no, no. Here's what we do. We do whatever is good for us and our businesses. And we take no shit.
Yes. I like it. That is the greatest sign off I think we've had on here so far. So thank you. We take no shit, people.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, again, thank you so much for coming on here. I know we ran a little bit over, but you are freaking such an awesome guest, and I appreciate you so much for coming on.
Thanks, John. Thanks for having me.
Heck
Have
yes.
a good day.
You too. Take care and have fun in all your meetings.
Okay, bye.
Ba-da-dum. Pow! And we're back. Guys, she is such a cool person and such an influential person as well, too. If you guys have not watched her videos, please go to it. Anything, I mean, literally, if you click on just Ashnichrist in YouTube, you will find her 100%. She's such a cool person, and she actually does stream coach. So if you guys aren't aware of what stream coach is, anybody out there that's wanting to build their stream or just build their content creation, get on that stream coach and find out a little bit more. Also, I'll be back on later on tonight. That was neat, though. Never heard of it. Dun, dun, dun. Never heard of her. Zero. There you go. I'm glad to have introduced you guys. Please go check her out if you're really wanting to kind of get more into content creation. Whoa, she's really big. She's really freaking awesome. And her hair is beautiful. So, either way, I think I'm going to go dye my hair. And I'll see you guys back here tonight. I'm also just really quick, random stuff. We're doing a boom. We're going to be doing building a Gundam model on stream, I think Wednesday. She taught me so much in marketing. Listen, people. Also, F Huge does not stream, but legit is a freaking awesome creator himself. So please go check him out. He's probably not really going to be on Twitch very much. I don't think he streams at all, but he is a very, very good dude to talk to. He's the person I learned all my NFT stuff from, and I cannot thank him enough. I've sat here in shocked as shit that you got a book on the go. Emma, also, yes, it's a picture book, and it is called Humping Around the World. So yes, we're going to be, it's a picture book of me humping a lot of stuff. It's fucking awesome. Chris, thank you so much for coming back on here. Guys, like I said, I'll see y'all later on tonight. It's probably going to be about 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. Y'all can hit me up on GG's or here. F Huge. Freaking awesome, dude. And legit, I came to him completely dumb to NFTs, and I was like, dude, what the fuck is this all about? And he was like, I'm gonna be a millionaire by 30. And I was like, I don't fucking doubt it. You've got this, brother. 100%. I believe that if you keep chasing what you're going for right now, you will definitely make that 5 mil by the age of 30. Maybe even blow way past that, dude. Either way, if anybody needs me in the meantime between now and 8 o'clock, find me on everything. Freaking JohnReavesLive, and yeah, hit me up. My DMs are always open, and I miss the outside. Just walk out there, start doing some work on the go, man. Have a good one, mate. You guys have a blast as well, and let me check and see really quick if anybody's online that we could raid out to. Anybody got a suggestion of a raid? Anybody think of somebody? Bum, bum, bum. Also, this will be on YouTube as well too, so please, guys, if you can, go find this on YouTube later on. And oh, you know what? We'll go hit my friend Tank's Gaming. He hasn't streamed in a long time, so let's go hit Tank with a raid. I haven't seen him in a bit, so let's go hit him in the face with a raid. Raid Shadow's Legend?
Apex,
Live Slash!
or Black Ops.
How's
or
it
zombies
going?
and multiplayer.
I missed you. Alright, so either way, guys, I'll be back on. This video will be up on YouTube later on next week. Peace. Let's freaking raid out to my old boy, Takes Gaming! And Lime Slush, I hope you're freaking doing good, brother. DM me. I miss your face. You're beautiful. And yeah. Pow! Alright, we're gonna raid out to Tank. I'll catch y'all later on tonight. Toodles.
I'll probably play that sometime. Dobby, brother, and Hunito. Let's go. Did you guys see these 9? Hunito's got all 9 now. Fuck, some people got a shit ton. Let's go. Oh fuck. Here we go. It's the brother Reeves. Let's go. Yo, what's good, man? We're just going through. Did you guys add the new emotes? So these are the tier 1 emotes I have now. I'll just show you guys the tier 1s. There you go, Reese. 20 months. Holy fuck. Yo, Hugh, what's good, man? 20 months, brother. 2 years just to be like, fuck. Is he gonna read it out? Oh, there we go. I was on the wrong one, bro. And let's go. Hell yeah, 20 months, bro. Hell yeah, 20 months, bro. I can't believe it. We've known each other for quite a few years now, bro. Let's go.
JohnReavesLive just subscribed.